Alright, I'm gonna start out this video by saying, the left needs to evolve with this activism. This, whatever the left is doing, it sucks. It unequivocally sucks. We need to consolidate, come together and shit. I mean, not with Cenk Uygur or the TYT or any of those people or, the Majority Report. Fuck them dudes. I really do mean that because, like, Jimmy Dore has been ignoring Sam Seder for, like, years, and Sam Seder is, like, obsessed with Jimmy Dore. So, fuck him. Anybody's divine left, it's not Jimmy Dore or Sam Seder. I just want to make that point very fucking clear. That's my position, my point. Like, yeah, and I'll never join the G-Hive. Even if I have, like, some severe disagreement, even if I have a screaming match with somebody that, like, I really fucking have a fucking disagreement, I'm really pissed off, I'm never joining fucking, the G-Hive or any of these fucks. And I'm sorry, Tim Black, man, you fucked up. Like, I got mad at Tim, and I was like, God, he's gonna get destroyed. So I now feel bad for Tim Black. I mean, he's a little bit right. One thing is, like, left's a little bit pussies. He didn't say it in so many words. I'll say it like that. He's not wrong, but he did bring a flamethrower to kind of everything, which I find hilarious. And it'd be hilarious if I imitate. I'm not. Oh my god, jeez. All this stuff is fun. Listen, you gotta have a sense of humor, even about, like, the crappy stuff, because life's too fucking short. If you can't learn to laugh at the fucking crappy stuff, man, I don't even know how you people live. Anyways. So yeah. I'm gonna try to take a position. I'm not gonna tell you what position that is. I'll try to say it at the end to see if I actually, got there, accomplished my goal. But I'm gonna talk about kind of my experience with ForceTheVote and the March for Medicare for All, because that's actually my activist experience. I mean, I've been a part of marches, protests, this and that and the other, but I've never actually been on, like, the inside of, like, doing the planning of a march and a protest. And I gotta say, it's not as hard as you think it is. It just takes a lot of work, communication, and a lot of help. And March for Medicare for All is really good in a lot of ways, because it really kind of gave me kind of an insight to how stuff worked. But just like ForceTheVote, I've seen some kind of glaring issues that come with the left and actual consolidation and engagement and this and the other. And I'm just gonna say this, like, from the position of a fucking firebrand. The biggest issue I see with the left is, like, every time the left gets attacked, it's like a turtle that's got flicked and it just jumps in its shell, like, oh my god, we gotta attack, we're gonna protect ourselves. But let me just say this, it's a very reasonable reaction, because there are people out there with a lot of money, fucking the military industrial complex, the CIA, the FBI, like, literally Joe Biden's like, hey, if you are, pro ending, like, if you shut off an oil pipeline, just completely, if you shut off an oil pipeline, you're an eco-terrorist that needs, you're a domestic terrorist. Like, that's it. You didn't kill anybody, you didn't hurt anybody, you ain't hurt any animals. In fact, you're trying to help the environment. Joe Biden's like, yeah, you're an eco-terrorist. So the left has, like, developed this sense of, like, they're out to get me, and you're right. You are 1000% right. They are out to get you. It's just that having that level of paranoia, it doesn't help. You know what I mean? Well, I don't want to say it doesn't help. In one capacity, it helps. In another capacity, it is incredibly damaging, because you need to understand they're out to get you. That's right. But you actually have to develop the strength, the comprehension, the understanding that they're going to come at you. You know what I mean? Like, the one thing I've never really comprehended with people who are actually trying to pass, national Medicare for all by putting pressure on politicians, is that I don't think that they understand that they will receive death threats. If there is actually real capacity for it to pass, death threats, like, it's an inevitability. You're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars of people making money off of people with cancer, diabetes, sickness, who murder people on a daily basis. This is what the American health insurance industry murders people on a daily fucking basis. if you don't think that they would threaten you with death just to kind of silence you, to keep their hundreds of millions of dollars, I don't know. You're a very unserious person to me. I'm sorry. Very unserious. And the idea that being nice to politicians is gonna fix this situation is also, I don't know how. I don't know you. Like, I don't know how to relate. The point of all of this is that, first off, the left needs to understand one thing. They're coming for you regardless of what you do. We had a few marches, 50, you know what I mean, or something like that, marches, get-togethers, whatever you may call it. We had marches. People came up, showed up. They attacked us relentlessly. I actually found the people. I have not said this publicly. I'm saying it now. Sabotage Tiger, whatever his name is, and this Cabbage Patch fuck. I actually found the people who, you know, the whole Muncie event for the March for Medicare for All, and they're like, oh my god, the Boogaloo Boys and Nazis are doing this crazy stuff for the March for Medicare for All. Let me let you guys in on a little piece of information. It was never Nazis. It was Joe Biden voters. I mean that literally. I have the receipts. It was Joe Biden voters. But what ended up happening within the internal mechanisms of the march was, I found this information. I was like, I want to go public with it. They were like, listen, just be quiet about this. Be quiet about this. We don't want to bring any more attention to it. It's like, listen, bro, we got attacked by Democrats who tried to pose as Nazis to destroy Medicare for All in the minds, or the March for Medicare for All in the minds of everybody in the public. We need to go forward with this. It was one of the things I was like, listen, this is going to be, you know, this is the hill I'll die on. And I eventually did die on it. You know, it took a little bit, but I died on the hill, and, you know, the information never came out. But I had the information. I had their email addresses. I had them in the Zoom, in the link. Like, even Zoom itself sent me a personal email talking about, pointing to the person who externally showed our link. If you guys don't know the internals of it, it's not important. Anyways, we were never infiltrated by Nazis. It was Democratic voters. Really. Seriously. We're fighting for healthcare for all Americans, and Democratic fucking voters, Joe Biden voters, are the people who try to pose as Nazis to discredit us. I mean, the utter garbage of these fucking people is mind-numbing and insane. And my position was simply, we need to fucking call these fuckers out publicly, because of the fact, if we just get rid of them from Twitter, we're doing the world a good service. And that got shut down. And the reason I tell that story is because of the fact there is this constant comprehension, like hide, you know, cover, duck and cover. And it's just like, at the end of the day, sometimes you need to have the argument. Sometimes you need to engage people. Sometimes you need to be willing to debate with Ben Shapiro and humiliate his bitch ass. Sorry. Listen, I almost never refer to women like that. I've called a bunch of people the B word on my Twitter timeline. I've never once said it to a woman. So less sexist, I guess. I'm consistent. I try to be, at the very least. The point that I'm making here overall is that reaction to the whole Muncie event that wasn't even events, and, you know, the knee-jerk reaction to kind of hide, duck, and cover. It limits the ability for the left to become a larger movement. You know what I mean? A lot of the movements become kind of cowardly or hyper security focused because of the fact they don't want to get infiltrated, which is, again, a very real concern. I'm not like talking shit about these people like, yeah, man, you're worried about infiltrators, fucking douche. You know what I mean? It's just, I get it. I 1,000,000,000% fucking get it. But if you and this is what it is, my focus was never about the marches. You know what I mean? It was never about the marches. It was always about bringing attention in specific areas to get more people involved in not only local politics, but local activism. And really giving people the sense and understanding that activism is something that you can do. Have you ever done activism? No? Guess what? We can train you. It's not even going to take all that long. It's not going to be hard. Guiding questions, we're here for you. My comprehension was, we were doing the marches to kind of set up these like smaller groups, these smaller cells, you know, guerrilla warfare without the violence, smaller cells of activists for Medicare for all across the country so they can begin to take action on their own. And by doing that, actually have people in, like, you know, Kansas who are willing to protest, you know, Republicans and Democrats alike, you know what I mean? People in, you know, San Francisco who are willing to literally go to Nancy Pelosi's office when she's there and get arrested, videotape it, send it to us so we can blast that out, you know what I mean? And let people know this is the action that we're taking, this is the action that we're doing, and get more volunteers and more activists to get involved to bring about change. The problem with that, you can't look at the people joining you with the fear mentality. You have to be like, okay, you know, they're involved, they want to be involved, we can have a vetting process, you know, like, let's have this level be open to kind of everybody, and then the first level of vetting, second and third level of vetting, whatever, you know what I mean? But you set up a system where it's an open door policy where people can come, because who knows, you know, if you have a debate channel, you might get Republicans in there, and maybe you even want to welcome Republicans in there, because the more you talk to Republicans, the more you can refine your arguments to actually convince Republicans. I don't shy away from debates because I want to, even if I know the debates, I'm not going to change this dude's mind, dude's complete trash, you know, screw him. I don't shy away from that debate because of the fact I want to understand how to debate better. If I'm losing the argument, or if I'm not making good enough points to win a debate, I want to understand how to win the fucking debate, even if it's against a troll, because that's how you communicate with people. And I'll be honest. Sadly, debates have turned into, I'm gonna humiliate you, make you look bad in front of people. That's what it's about. It's not really the exchange of ideas in a large portion of debates. I'd say the vast majority. But guess what? I know for a billion% truth, or a fact, I would fucking humiliate Ben Shapiro in a debate. I know that for a fact, like, flat the fuck out. People don't want to debate me, you know what I mean? I'm that good. I have not lost a debate in forever. One a little iffy, but that's even a longer story. The point is this idea of, like, duck, cover, consolidation, hide is not going to work for the left moving forward. It's just not. And this idea, and this is what I don't like about, you know, the modern monetary theory people, that they're completely degrading, you know, the activists of state activists. The reason I don't like that is because of the fact these people are literally attacking people that are on their side, and they think that that's going to give them a political advantage. It's not. And anybody thinking that, like, you know, I mean, it'd be one thing. I don't even know. I don't know the example that I could give, but the example, actually, I mean, I don't know the example I could give without giving a long explanation about why I think that strategy is moronic and stupid. Even, like, national Medicare for all, I think is moronic strategy as the only option. I mean, simply put, let me just be clear. Joe Biden said he'd veto Medicare for all. So the next 3 years, Joe Biden, Medicare for all, not on the table, flat out. If Donald Trump runs again, which it seems very likely he's going to win, and the Democrats are down by 6 points internally within the polling currently on congressional and Senate seats, which they are, that means that in 2022, Democrats are likely to lose the House and the Senate. That means Joe Biden. But that doesn't even matter. Joe Biden would fucking veto Medicare for all. If Joe Biden gets another term, veto Medicare for all. If Kamala Harris gets another term, veto Medicare for all. If Donald Trump gets another term, definitely no Medicare for all. So the strategy of pushing only national Medicare for all, you guys have literally determined on the onset from the get-go that for the next 7 years, you have no plan whatsoever to actually pass Medicare for all in any capacity, and you attack and degrade the people who are working on state levels to push state politicians and potentially highlight the corruption of state politicians to get that passed. You're attacking those people. It seems stupid as fuck to me, but if someone would like to explain to me why that is not the dumbest fucking strategy in the world, all fucking ears. Also, just let you guys know something. We have 9 years before all humanity will be beyond salvation. 9 years. That's how long we have to turn the entire fucking world around. The entire capitalist system that is killing everybody, manipulation, military-industrial complex. We got 9 years to change that bitch. So if your plan goes longer than 9 years, I'm sorry. I don't think that you actually understand the condition that we're in, and I really don't think strategically you have anything to offer the left in meaningful capacities of how we should move forward. That's gonna be me. Have you seen, like, you know what? California's having the largest fire in the history of California. Right now, right this very second, right now, California having the largest fire in the history of all fires in California. Guess what? Siberia. You want to know what Siberia is? The Antarctic. You know what? Take all the other fires. Siberia's one side. Take all other fires from freaking Greece to Turkey to California. Put them all together on this entire planet. They are not as big as the Siberian fire. That is the current condition we're living in. Smoke has reached the North Pole for the first time in human history. And you guys are talking about a strategy for Medicare for All that bare minimum will take 7 years to even have the potential possibility of even being brought up for a vote. And that's the strategy? I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense. And that's why we should have an all-pronged strategy. State and national. The people who are working on the state level can push national Medicare for all. You can do both at the same time, but to degrade the state workers, the state efforts that are actually getting people activated and organized is like, oh, you guys don't care about Alabama, is the most simplistic and stupid bullshit I've ever fucking heard. I'm happy to debate or talk to anybody who has a disagreement on it, because I honestly, and I mean this honestly, have no fucking idea what your guys' strategy is. So with that being said, yeah, I was going to try to be neutral. That was the word nope. Nope. Sorry, I'm not good at it. I suck. Sorry. But because of the fact that I am, if I talk shit, I feel like, if I talk shit like, oh, you're doing this wrong, I'm just a prick if I don't offer a better solution, better strategy. At the end of the day, I mean, if you really want to push Medicare for all, you have to have some capacity for people to get involved, more people to get involved. And you have to bolster your numbers. You have to find, video editors. You have to find, research people. This is going to take a group effort, because the change that we're all looking for, the change that we've learned, a lot of leftists learned looking at the abysmal failure of electoral politics, is that we can't go that way. It's a dead end. You're right. I mean, 100% you're right. I mean, look at Joe Biden. He's doing nothing, and like AOC's like, oh my God, Daddy Joe Biden. You know what I mean? Oh, comfy Joe. Or like Jank said, like, Joe Biden's a warm sweater in a cold and uncaring economic world, and I'm so grateful for Joe Biden right now. And he's like, and Jimmy Dore's a grifter, because he talked about Joe Biden. Anyways, I'm sorry. Sorry. Jank is such a fucking, sorry. I say sorry too much, but I just went off track. I maybe apologize to myself for going off track. The point is that there's two ways you can change the world. Okay, as humans, we create systems and structures inherently. It's one of the things that we're great at. We're fantastic at it. The creation money is one of these great creations of systems and structures. I mean, all government is systems and structures. And a lot of activists, a lot of people on the left look to create new systems and structures, generally systems and structures that are more equatable to actual humanity, because a lot of the times we see how crappy the people in power have done it. So we look and try to do stuff better and different. Now, we may fail, we may fuck up, and that's okay. But the point is, never get so fucking arrogant that you think that you figured it out entirely. Now, I myself may be a little hypocritical on that, because I think I've had some very good ideas about how to set up effective systems and structures for activism to create new and different spaces for the betterment of the world and society. But I also know these things need to be beta tested. They need to be actually, they need to be put to work. And too often on the left, that the reaction is consolidate and, expel. Like, listen, I trust you. I trust you guys. Okay, we're all doing this. That's not going to change society. And if you want to actually know the mechanism of change that people are looking for on the left currently, it is changing the country through community and societal organization. What does that mean? So, like I was saying about their systems and structures created by humanity. The American government was one of those systems and structures that were created. There are checks and balances. There are mechanisms for engaging and getting into power to affect the very structure of the society and the country that we built. The problem is the way is fucking closed. Flat the fuck out. And the more people continue to think that the Democratic Party is a vehicle for change, the more we're going to waste our time using a useless fucking vehicle. You know what I mean? It's like get in the car, baby. We're going for Medicare for all. It turns out there's not an image in it. And the second you get in the car, they lock the fucking doors and like come pick them up. And they pick them up. They take AOC into whatever room they took her. And Ilhan Omar like, listen, this is really what's going on. And then they don't fight Joe Biden anymore. Okay, maybe it's a little bit conspiratorial, but I think this is very kind, very kind, imaginated theory that I've just came up with. But there's another mechanism for change. That's community. If you get the majority of the American public, and at times it's not even the majority of the American public, it's anywhere from like 35 to 45% of the American public on the same issue, demanding the same thing, regardless of Republican or Democrat, regardless of any of that, you will be able to force change through the society that you're engaging with, because the only thing a country is a larger formation of society that people have decided to become involved in or were born into and participate in because of the fact that we can accomplish more together than we can accomplish alone. That is not an idea that is taught largely on the left, and it's a huge problem. But the major point that I'm making here is that people need to functionally recognize and realize that at the end of the day, the real way to change society is not by limiting yourself with small groups and saying, we have control of this. It's opening yourself up for honest debate of complexity and help educate the American public to create an educated society that is not educated by CNN or MSNBC, and using that education as a mechanism to build solidarity within the general public itself. That's how you get change outside of electoral politics, and that cannot be done when the left keeps attacking, local organizers, because you may have national ideas, but if your national idea of getting Medicare for all is relying upon the Democratic Party, which it is with the modern monetary theory, you're relying on the Democratic Party, there's a serious flaw in your argument and your comprehension of strategy. And I'd be happy to have a conversation or debate with anybody about this, because I don't think you guys know what you're talking about. But I'm not a coward, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And so I'm willing to talk about this. But it needs to be said, this is where I stand, and there's legitimate reasons why I stand here. So, deuces, motherfuckers. What's up? Let's change the world, baby.